Welcome to W&L Sports Weekly. I'm Jeremy Franklin. This week we'll speak with men's tennis coach David Detwiler and women's lacrosse captain Katie McCartin. But first, a quick look back at the weekend in Washington and athletics. Men's lacrosse closed out the regular season with a 15-7 road win over Virginia Wesleyan, and the top-seeded W&L tennis teams opened up the ODAC tournament with 5-0 home quarterfinal victories. The women downed Sweetbriar while the men eliminated Shenandoah. The conference semifinals and championship matches will take place at Virginia Wesleyan this weekend. With me in the studio is men's tennis coach David Detwiler. David, welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much.
During last week's spring break, Washington and Lee took a trip to New England, played 3 opponents out of the NESCAC. What did that trip do to prepare your team for the postseason?
Well, all 3 of those matches were very competitive as far as the scores. Very tough teams, tough conference. We started off with Tufts. We had some very close matches with them, and we won a match at number 1 singles, Michael Holt. And then we played Bowdoin, drove up to Maine, played Bowdoin. Very cold up there. Came away with actually 3 wins there, number 1 doubles, and then Jordan Krasner and Michael Holt in singles. So very competitive matches, helped us a lot. Ended up with Wesleyan snowing during that match. And just good competition is exactly what we need going into the ODACs and then the NCAA tournament, hopefully.
Your team has dealt with a fair amount of adversity this year, including a number of key injuries. How have the Generals overcome these difficult circumstances?
Well, I'm very fortunate. I have a very deep team as far as our depth, a lot of experience. We have Sam Borowski that stepped in at the number 6 single spot, filled those shoes nicely, and probably will be one of the first team all-conference players. And then our senior leadership, both of those guys were hurt actually. Or upperclassmen leadership. Michael Holt has had knee surgery in November, and then Chris Hu sprained his ankle in a match against Swarthmore. So all the guys had to move up, step up, and they did a good job.
You were talking about upperclassmen leadership. How important has the junior class in particular been this year?
Junior class, we have a lot of depth, a lot of experience, and with Michael Holt leading that group, playing the number 1 spot, number 1 doubles, just an outstanding individual and has helped us a lot. Chris Hu is a senior, and then some of the other juniors, Brian Kruskos, Joe Siami, just been outstanding this year for us.
Bridgewater is your opponent in the ODAC semifinals. You've got Virginia Wesleyan and Guilford looming as possible championship foes. Mm-hmm. What are the keys for the Generals as you pursue a 6th consecutive ODAC title this weekend?
I think as far as we've got to come out strong in our doubles. Hopefully we will do that with Michael Holt and Chris Hu at number 1, Bannister and Krasner at number 2, and then Ethan Markman, a freshman, and Joe Siami at 3. If we can jump on them early and win those 3 doubles, I think that will set the stage for the singles.
David, thanks for joining us. Best of luck to the Generals this weekend.
Thank you, Jeremy.
I'm joined now by Katie McCartin, senior lacrosse captain from Ashton, Maryland. Katie, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Washington and Lee has battled through a number of injuries this year. The Generals still finished unbeaten in the ODAC in the regular season. You're 13-2 overall. How pleased have you been with the way Washington and Lee has performed this spring?
Yeah, I definitely think it's very hard to lose 3 of our starters, all of whom were big leading goal scorers. But in the wake of their absence on the field, we've definitely seen a lot of different people step up and contribute in a lot of ways. And like I said, it's hard to lose them. I've been really happy with the void that we've been able to fill from everybody else. So it's been a transition period, but definitely it's turned out well, as you can see by our record and the number 1 seed.
Your sister Courtney just finished up her sophomore season at Roanoke, where she started 10 games for the Maroons this year. What's it been like to see her have success at one of your big ODAC rivals?
It's definitely a lot of fun to watch her play. I would much rather it be on my own team instead of for one of my biggest rivals like Roanoke, but it adds a little bit more of a competitive edge to a game that's already really heated, so that's fun personally for me. But I mean, I'm her biggest fan, and I like to see her come out on top just as long as it's not in the game when they're playing us. So the rest of the season I root for her, just not in that one game.
Last Wednesday's victory over Bridgewater was the team's 4th 1-goal win of the season. How have the Generals been able to pull out so many close games?
I think it's interesting. I think a couple of those games we were clearly the better team, and we kind of lost it at the end. We're pretty young, so we don't have a lot of people that have a ton of field experience, and I think sometimes that shows, but we are in those games a better team and we can pull it out. And then I think in some games we are just playing very good competition, like Salisbury. They're the defending national champions, and Mary Washington, that's always a huge rivalry game. And I think in those games, the score doesn't really show a lack of good play on our part, but rather just a really good competitive game where everyone's playing well. And I think the way we win those games is just kind of fighting harder at the end and wanting it more. So I've been happy that we really get pumped up and just want to win those games and pull them off.
What will the Generals need to do to claim another ODAC championship this week?
Well, first we need to stay healthy because we have a really small roster, and if we lose anyone else, that would not be good. So that's kind of the main priority. And then after that, we have to get through a really tough Lynchburg team tonight. They're probably one of the most athletic teams we play, and they just pulled off a big upset this weekend over Roanoke. And even further, they're not our biggest fans. They definitely don't like to lose to us, so I think that's kind of the first hurdle. And then once we do that, I think it's kind of about having fun and staying focused, but really having fun, because that's when we play our best. And then we should be able to hopefully pull out a victory and my 4th ODAC championship. So that'll be fun.
Katie, thanks for joining us. Good luck in the ODAC tournament.
Thank you for having me.
For W&L Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.